greatest TV villains.
Yes.
I had a time.
I don't see how. I honestly don't.
how?
I don't watch villain shit.
I'll bet you as I go through my list, he's gonna be like, "Oh, you're thinking that. Oh, I didn't think of that."
And he's not wrong. That's probably exactly what's going to happen.
All right. What's your first one? Bill?
All right, now I did these kind of like almost in order of appearance or something. I don't know. But the first one is not a human. It is Carr from Knight Rider.
Oh, okay.
Voiced by first Paul Frees, who did the voice of Boris Badenoff, and he did the narrator for the Haunted Mansion, and then after that, voiced by Peter Cullen, better known for the voice of Eeyore and Optimus Prime.
Lisa has joined us.
Uh-oh.
Lisa says, "Try living with him." Lisa, my dear, I have many times said you should be nominated for fucking sainthood. You should be nominated for sainthood.
Back to it, and CAR stands for Night Automated Roving Robot. It was the evil version of KIT.
All right, I have a question.
Yes.
So you're talking about Knight Rider.
Yes.
How many episodes was this fucking villain in?
He was in 2 episodes. It didn't say like.
Does it matter?
Yeah,
But
he was in one episode as Paul Frees, and then in another episode as Peter Cullen, and then he came back in Knight Rider 2000.
Okay.
Where it was also voiced by Peter Cullen in 2008.
Right.
And it was an excellent villain. It was a car. It kidnapped people. It tried to kill people.
It had the same technology as KIT,
Yeah,
but using it for an evil purpose.
Yeah.
I don't remember Carr.
I do.
I don't.
My God. Again, I don't know how he's I don't
gonna-
know if he's in Gen X too.
I know. We're going to pull his fucking Gen X card. That's a good one, Andy. Andy chimed in with Walter White from Breaking Bad. And the thing is, you can watch the double turn happen. We talked about this one. We can watch the double turn. Andy, I'm glad you're here. We're talking Hobo with a Shotgun in a little bit. All right, what's your first one there, Jimmer?
Mark Hamill's Joker. Absolutely in Batman, that series that ran in the 90s, you can't deny Mark Hamill, the Joker in that.
Okay.
Absolutely phenomenal.
He's my second favorite Joker.
Second?
Second. Behind Ledger.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're going by Jokers, then Nicholson is like, I like Nicholson is
Nicholson's
no Ledger Nicholson.
No.
I put Nicholson 3.
I would put Nicholson 3 as well.
No, that whole movie was awesome.
Well,
it was
dark
was.
and foreboding, yes, and Nicholson fit the thing, but when you're going about standing power, I'm going to go with Ledger and Hamill, because Hamill was part of the series.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go, Cesar Romero, and then
Cesar Romero.
Oh my.
And then I'm going to go fucking
yeah, that guy.
Leto.
Jared Leto. Joaquin Phoenix was a good Joker too.
Oh, they're doing a sequel.
Yes, they are.
Joaquin was still better than Leto.
Oh, no doubt.
But
no doubt.
Leto was let down by the script, though.
Well,
yeah,
correct.
that script could have been a lot better. That whole movie could have been better, but it wasn't terrible. All right, my first one. Played by J. Jonah Jameson, J.K. Simmons, Vern Schillinger from Oz.
Okay.
This is a man who had his own son killed.
Oh my.
Yes, his one kid gets arrested, gets sent to Oz, and he's befriended Tobias Beecher, who Vern has this, long-standing rivalry with.
Yeah.
And Beecher is trying to do the right things and keep Hank on the straight and narrow. Vern's son on the straight and narrow. And Hank's son gets sent to the hole. And one of the corrupt guards takes a lethal dose of heroin to him, and he ODs. That was provided by his father, who is the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood. He has Tobias at one point in the show. He has Tobias's 2 children kidnapped, by his other son, mind you. His other son kidnaps Tobias's kids, cuts off his son's hands, and sends it to him.
Beautiful.
And then kills the son before finally releasing the daughter. Yeah, he's an all-around scumfuck. J. Jonah Jameson, J.K.
Jesus.
Simmons.
Yeah.
He's, definitely in my pantheon of great TV villains.
Oh, my.
Who do you got next?
All right. Next, an allegory, though. This was played by Mark Alamino from Star Trek, Gul Dukat,
Yes.
or pretty much all the Cardassians as a allegory of some pretty bad German people.
Yes.
But, they were just evil, nasty, warlike, everything.
To quote Chief O'Brien, you can't trust the bloody Cardies.
Yeah. Yeah. Gul Dukat amongst all of them.
Oh, no, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Dukat was the Cardassian emissary on Deep Space Nine.
When it was called Terok Nor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Deep Space Nine was originally a Cardassian
Mining station.
I think you're talking about the Kardashians.
No.
No. Yeah, and there's a few others that played.
Gulamek.
Yeah. Oh my God, the one that he played, like he played an innocent a preacher or something, and they found out he was like leader of like a concentration camp.
Yeah.
Who murdered like thousands, and was trying to hide, and they caught him. That's again, they did a lot of World War II allegories in this thing.
Yeah.
And
oh my Lord.
it was like you cannot feel sorry for the Cardassians.
And they have essentially it's huge trapezius muscles, right?
Right.
They're like they all have like Brock Lesnar necks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they all have fucking like no necks because they have these huge like traps that come down. And the way that they kill the Cardassians is they hang them because it's slow and torturous.
Because of their muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Yes. But yeah, Gul. Oh, good fucking pick. I actually thought about Gul Dukat.
Yep.
Good pick. What's your next one, Jim?
Well, I'm just going to throw another one out there. Megatron. Shut up.
No. Megatron
I
was.
couldn't think of
Megatron was good. But Galvatron was better because they made him unhinged.
Well, and then I was going to think of Unicron
Yeah.
as well, but
Yeah.
we'll go.
I actually like Starscream better.
He is, yeah.
He's a prick.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
He fucked everybody over.
Well, that's
Nah,
why.
Yeah. He even got the fuck Unicron over.
Right.
That's balls.
All right. My next one. He owned a great fucking chicken stand called Los Pollos Hermanos, played by the one and only Giancarlo Esposito, Gus Fring from Breaking Bad.
Okay, so that was the name of his foods thing.
Yeah, Los Pollos Hermanos.
Yeah, they asked that in that Jeopardy pop culture thing. I knew none of that shit.
Well,
I said finger licking chicken. I didn't know.
no, it was Los Pollos Hermanos.
Yeah, I had no idea.
He's completely cold-blooded and ruthless. Gus and completely unassuming. You would have never, ever assumed that Gus Fring was the fucking meth king of the Southwest.
I never watched the show, but knowing he was in it, because he doesn't play. He never really plays good guys in anything he does. He started with Bug Out from the Spike Lee movie.
Yeah, do the right thing.
Yeah, Do the Right Thing from Revolution. I've never seen him play like a really just decent character. He was even a guy in Maximum Overdrive that was stealing the cigarettes.
Yeah.
Before he got killed.
All right. What's your next one, Bill?
Next one. Played by Zachary Quinto. The character was great in season 1, and then they neutered him, but the whole show fell apart. From Heroes, Sylar.
Okay.
The show was about pretty much almost like
Heroes.
people had superpowers.
I remember that show.
And Sylar was the unseen one that was killing people and taking their powers.
Yes.
And like the more powers he got, the more powerful he got.
Yes.
Until they almost couldn't stop him, and they stopped him by erasing his memory.
I remember that show.
But again, they neutered him, but it put Zachary Quinto on the map.
All right, there
Okay.
we go. That is one that, wow, yes, I should have thought of that.
Do we even want to bother with you at this point? Miller?
Sure. He has another good one. I'm sure he does.
I do.
What is it?
Negan.
I'll top that.
Are you going to go with the mayor?
No,
But anyway,
the
but
governor,
Oh, that guy, yeah.
and no, I'm not going with the governor.
Okay. But Negan, man, that bat-wielding bitch.
Bat-wielding bitch.
From-
Negan. If you look at the story from the from the Savior's point of view, Negan ain't a fucking
Oh,
villain.
no, well, that,
Negan's not a villain.
when he came on the, really?
No. Negan had his way of doing things,
Well,
and it worked.
you're correct.
It worked. There was order with the Saviors. And then that fucking neutered prick Rick had to fuck things up.
Well, that's like saying Adolf had a thing, too, so.
No,
no,
we can't draw that allegory.
No, definitely not.
No, because Negan never wanted to hurt anybody. The fear and violence was a tool when it needed to happen. He wanted everybody to come together and work toward the common good.
What was up with when you first got introduced to him randomly kicking the shit out of somebody?
That's a lesson. And it never has to happen again as long as you become part of the collective.
So what we've got here
Pretty much.
is failure
In
to
fact,
communicate.
my third one,
Oh, boy.
I'm going to top you. Negan was far from the biggest bad in the Walking Dead universe. To me, the scariest villain in the Walking Dead universe wasn't the governor, it wasn't Negan, it was Alpha. Alpha, she was played by Samantha Morton.
I remember her.
She led the Whisperers. Now, the Whisperers they assimilated, or not assimilated, they acted like the dead. They acted like the walkers. They wore walkers' skin masks, and they would ramble like the walkers, and they smelled like the walkers, and they would only whisper. So that way, they could mingle in with the walkers, and they had a fucking herd of thousands and thousands of walkers that they could unleash on you at any time. And they had no desire to have you assimilate into their culture. They just wanted you gone. Only when you're dead are you truly free.
Damn.
Alpha was the biggest bad. What's your next one?
Now, this one supposedly is supposed to be a hero, but is definitely not a hero. The biggest villain is Homelander from The Boys.
Yes.
Oh, my God. And they make him worse every episode. When you think he has done the worst things possible, he does even worse things.
Yeah.
Now, he was even worse, and the best thing, he was even worse in the comics.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that they have other characters doing, he did.
Yeah.
But he is a
Well,
terrible.
I mean, when you adapt from comics, I mean, you saw a lot of it with the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like Abraham's death. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Abraham's actual death in the comics was given to another character. You know, but you have to take creative license. You have to do things like that.
Well, I mean, again, I had no problems with any of the creative license either. The TV show is 10 times better than the comic book.
It's a fun show.
You know, but then of course when you go into it, it's like, oh, Homelander did that, not the Deep.
Yeah.
With Starlight. That was all. And again, you just want to hate him so much. And he is such a hateable character.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I'm watching this week.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, when you
It's been on my list.
when you get the hero-gasm,
Whoa.
call me.
Yeah.
All right, before or after my gasm.
No,
During?
no, after you watch it. Don't call me during it.
What's your next one? Think of it quick.
It's cartoon again.
Of course it is.
Well, go through Scooby-Doo.
It's Doofenshmirtz. Heinz Doofenshmirtz.
No,
Better
no,
than
I-
Platypus.
I almost put him on.
Ace Decade.
What?
I
Who?
love
Ace Decade?
Ace Decade. He was a deranged disc jockey
From where?
from Scooby-Doo.
I've never heard of Ace Decade.
Are you kidding me?
I've heard the name, but I couldn't pick it out of a cartoon lineup.
Oh, he's one of my favorite Scooby villains.
All right.
I'm sorry.
The next time,
Don't apologize for your picks ever. Never apologize for what you enjoy. Never apologize for what you enjoy.
you should apologize for some shit that you make me fucking listen to. We'll talk later. My number 2, and I really didn't put these in an order. They're just kind of the order they came to me. Played by the great John Delancey. From Star Trek The Next Generation, Q. Think of God with an attitude problem and a petty streak.
I know who you're. I remember that guy.
I don't think he was so much a villain as he was trying to
he
always
was a prick.
No, he was trying to teach
He was
lessons.
like that little
He was trying to teach lessons.
He was a fucking villain.
Mitzelplick. He was like Mitzelplick.
He's, like I said, he's God with an attitude problem, a superiority complex,
Yes.
and a fucking petty streak a mile wide.
Yes.
You think I'm petty? Jesus Christ, I ain't got nothing on Q.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, no, Q. I can't fucking zap you away with a snap of my fingers.
Yeah, I mean, and I love that they used him in Picard.
Yeah.
That was just.
Did they bring him back for Picard?
Well, I mean, again, a Picard is just a continuation of a story.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, I love how the new Star Trek stuff ties into all the old stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the new season of,
Brave New Worlds?
no, Discovery.
Okay.
It's the last season, but it's gonna be probably their best because they're latching on to old Star Trek stories.
Because now this is leading up to Kirk.
No, it's not really leading up. They're just that. Not really.
Okay, it's before Kirk.
No, Discovery is. They're like in the 800 years ahead of Picard.
Oh shit! I never watched.
Yeah,
I've never watched it.
They did one season before Kirk, and then time jumped 800 years like after Picard. So they are way in the future.
I've never watched it. I really should sit down.
It's
and
not
watch it.
terrible, but this season they're really finally figuring out. Again, their last season, and they're latching on to what people want you to latch on to.
Oh, God.
All right. All right. What's your last one?
Last one. I know you guys aren't going to know this one. First, played by Roger Delgado, and then later on also by Anthony Ainsley. It is from Doctor Who, The Master.
Yes.
And he has such a wonderful that mustache and goatee, just an evil presence, and it's just it's the antithesis of the Doctor. Wants to take over the universe. Doctor won't allow it, and it's a wonderful back and forth. It's like the Moriarty to the Sherlock Holmes.
Oh my.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
And that's even how they named him, because the Doctor is a degree and so is the Master.
Yeah.
They never call the companions the associates, though. I think that's a wasted opportunity.
What's your last one there, Jim?
You're gonna kick me. I'm gonna get kicked.
Nobody's gonna kick you.
It's a cartoon again.
Besides, if I kick you, we
Well-
might get demonetized.
Oh.
We have to be monetized to get demonetized.
Everybody's favorite villain,
Fat Albert. No.
Skeletor.
I like the Skeletor meme better than I like actual Skeletor. If the next time you come this unprepared, I'm gonna fucking slap you.
I'm on vacation.
Not from here.
I know. I'm prepared with the other stuff too.
You know what?
Almost.
After the recording, you're gonna go to HR and we're gonna have to have a talk.
What about him?
I'm at least in the dress code.
I'm giving this a pass. He at
Agreed.
least showed up
Agreed.
prepared.
Agreed.
My last one. One you wouldn't think that I would put on here because of the show it's on. Played by C. Thomas Howell on Criminal Minds. The Reaper, George Foyet.
Okay. I've never watched Criminal Minds.
Okay. This is one of the few story arcs in Criminal Minds I actually liked. C. Thomas Howell plays this character named George Foyet, who's known as the Reaper. He's a serial killer. 36 known victims. Okay? That's what's known. He ends up killing Agent Hotchner's ex-wife and trying to kill Hotchner's fucking like 4-year-old kid. When Hotch finally catches up with him, he's escaped from the BAU. He's escaped from custody. This guy, he's fucking incredibly smart, and like a completely ruthless, remorseless bastard. And it's the one character, one of the few characters in Criminal Minds I actually fucking liked.
Wow.
I enjoyed the George Foyet stuff.
All right.
And he's like the BAU team's greatest foe. Do you have any? I'm not even asking you. Do you have any honorables?
Yeah, I have two that almost made the list, but it's like I shuffled them around. One of them is from Dukes of Hazzard, Boss Hogg.
Oh, you gotta have
Oh,
Boss
Lord.
Hogg.
Always scheming, always trying to do it, always getting outwitted. But again,
Oh, my God.
because it's like he's gonna get outwitted. There's no real good villainy there. And the other one was one you might not know from Game of Thrones, Peter Baelish. He was a character called Littlefinger. He really, a lot of the king and all that was killing people. But again, when you're really spoiled rotten, you end up being king at a teenager. Shit's gonna go down.
Yeah, shit will go south.
But Baelish was pulling so many strings at so many places. And then he finally just got caught up in all of his machinations.
Everything at once, yes.
And it was like they just flat out killed him while he begged for his life.
right.
Whereas, like I said, I felt he was probably one of the best villains in the show.
He had his finger in everything.
Yep. And he tried to just pull every angle he could.
Yep.
Okay. I got a couple of honorable mentions. I saved my fun ones for the honorables. First one, played by Larry Linville, Frank Burns from MASH.
Was he a villain?
Dude, he was such the villain. He was like constantly scheming,
Yeah.
a smug prick, always trying to take down Trapper and
Okay.
and
All
Hawk.
right. I'll go.
But Frank Burns was so fun. Stinkfish pot. Then I have Cartman from South Park,
Oh, my
voiced by Trey Parker.
God.
Yep.
Complete fucking sociopath, and shit always seems to go sideways. Did you watch the latest special?
The obesity thing?
Yes.
No. I kind of stopped watching South Park.
Jesse and I watched it the other night. It's about how people can get Ozempic for obesity, but if you like your healthcare provider won't fucking give it to you unless you're diabetic. So it's a really expensive medication.
Lizzo.
Yes. So people that can't afford, and Lizzo had hang on. People that can't afford the Ozempic are being given Lizzo to teach you about body positivity. I got to give Lizzo credit. She took it fucking well.
Oh, yeah.
She laughed about it.
That's the way I heard about it.
That's how I heard about it, too. It was Lizzo watches
Yeah.
South Park.
Yeah. She had a laugh about it. And there's a lot of people that would not have taken it that well at all.
You're exactly 100%
And I
correct.
got to give Lizzo props for that. But yeah, Cartman, if there is a villain in South Park, it's him. And back to where you were earlier, I put Negan on there as an honorable mention. Okay? Negan has his moments of pure fucking sociopathic villainy. But everything Negan did served a purpose.
Correct.
It all served a purpose. And when you go back and watch his origin story, you understand exactly why Negan became the way he did.
All right, I have a question. Is that in the series?
They did kind of like a spin-off series of origin stories.
Okay.
And there's a thing that explains why Negan is the way he is and why the bat is named Lucille. And we meet Negan's wife. Negan's wife was Lucille. She died. She had cancer, terminal cancer, at the start of the apocalypse. Right? She had cancer at the start. Well, not terminal. He was actually doing her chemo treatments. One night, the fucking generator ran out of fuel. So the chemo treatments that they had in the fridge went bad. And he had to go and find more of the chemo treatment. And when he comes home, he gets home, and she's decided she's had enough. And she put a bag over her head, zip-tied the bag shut, tied herself to the bed, or handcuffed herself to the bed, tied a bag around her head, and died. And by the time Negan gets back, he's turned. And that is when the switch is turned on, and he becomes the Negan that we all know.
All right.
So you understand a lot more of his origins there.
Yeah.
It was really good. If you have a Prime subscription, AMC Plus is on there. Like if you have an AMC Plus subscription, you can find them there. The entire Walking Dead universe lives there.